Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT, and you can refer to me as Miss T. That's right, y'all see that thumbnail. Now, this is kind of controversial, but I'm going to try to talk about it as legitimately as I can talk about it. I said, breaking news, Devin Haney just, did he just get caught? I meant to say, did he just get caught cheating by way of a heart attack? Trust me, believe me, was as shocked as any of you to see what I saw. So we're gonna get into that and much more, but y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. This is one of them shocking type of reports for me anyway, because I don't know if I believe this stuff, but I'm gonna report what I heard and what I saw. So before we get into that, at the top of my hour, I always do a water check. Here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate that the average person should be drinking at least 100 ounces of water a day. We don't want from 2023 going forward for people to have problems in the dehydration department. Water is a life sustainer, and we all should be engaging in drinking our proper amount of water. Let go those myths that we understood about water and carrying weight with it and all that stuff, and just drink your water. You're going to see the difference in your body and the health overall. Water has oxygen in it. You need the oxygen and the water to flow through your organs and be carried around by yourself. It's going to help things move in a timely and efficient manner. But we know that most people don't like to drink water, so we say at least 2 times a day that you should drink water. That's first thing in the morning before them toes hit the ground. Get up and drink you some water. Have it on your nightstand, 8 ounces. If you think of your body as an engine and the water is the lube, it's going to help things move in a timely and efficient manner. We only talking like 8 ounces at a time. The second time is at night when you get out the showers. Most of us take showers at night before we go to bed. When you throw in your PJs, you're not falling asleep right away. But when you do, before you fall asleep, you should drink 8 ounces of water again. Have it ready on the nightstand. I do quirky things to help me get my water intake up. Like I put a mini fridge in my room. It did not change my electric bill. If anybody wondering, I bought a water cooler and it's bottom loaded. So I have plenty of water, and then I bought an ice machine because I like to crunch on ice and with the small crush balls. And so I got that in my room too. Y'all, I know y'all probably say, "Damn, you moved the kitchen in your room." I didn't. I didn't. But I do have a mini fridge to keep, my water cold. That's how I did it at first. Now I got the water cooler. I drink fresh spring water from the ground. We have a sprout. I mean, not a sprout, a spout. Down the street from where I live, where we can get some fresh water. And I have my little canisters that I fill up and I put it under my water cooler. And then I bought the ice machine. That ran me about, I guess, a couple of $100. Not more than two. I can't remember if it was how much it was exactly, but it wasn't that expensive. And I have fresh ice because I'm using the water from the water cooler. And you ever buy a bag of ice and you see a dead bug in there? I have. Or you buy a bag of ice like Sonic. I used to buy Sonic bags of ice because I love to crush ice. But you gotta wonder, do they clean their device? See, you at the mercy of other people. But I know that my machine, and it's small. It's about the size of, let me see, what can I say? It's about the size. It's not shaped like a crock pot, but it's about that size. It ain't that big. It don't take up much space. And I just pour some fresh water in it. Boom. 6 minutes it takes to make me the ice. And I crunch on ice and drink water all day. So if you don't reach your limit, after all, tomorrow is another day. You can always just stop back the next day. Sometimes people get about 96 or 80, 89. Guess what? That's going to make a difference in your life too. And you're going to see the difference. So drink your water. It's a lot of important things going on in a deep sleep. When we talking deep sleep, not cat naps. When you go into a deep sleep, a lot of things, a lot of revamping, rebooting, recharging, recreating, redirecting. I mean, all this stuff is going on in a deep sleep. No wonder the average human burns between 900 to 1,000 calories at night in a deep sleep. Can you imagine that? You almost there. It takes what, 3,600 calories to drop a pound. You burning close to 1,000 just sleeping. But you want the water there to help things move around and in a timely and efficient manner. So drink your water up. Don't be one of these people that's having dehydration problems, because dehydration problems when you're young, it sneak up on you when you're old. It has long-lasting effects. Little do you know. So drink your water. Water check, water check, water check. Now that we got that out the way, let's do a little housekeeping. Please, please, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, then hit that subscribe button. Do that right now. If you've already subscribed, don't worry about it. I got you locked in. I come on between Monday and Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day, unless something happened. Christmas is coming up. Sometimes a girl got to get her shop on. So I just, like I said, I come on when I have something to talk about or whatever. You can hit me up after the replay, like, put a comment, share your thoughts, your concerns, write a statement, what have you. I'll get back with you. Or you can hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. Also, y'all know my battle with YouTube. For some reason in the world, they don't want to count my views. I've been on here for a minute and they don't count my views. Honest to God, it's the same number that I had last year. And I don't know why. I've written to them and everything. But I do have a Cash App. So you can hit me up at Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's Boxing Fans Talk TV Cash App. And all proceeds, all go back into the channel. And I thank you in advance. Okay. So let's get into it, shall we? I already see Malik Hall is in the building. What's popping, King? Welcome to the building. Hit that subscribe button. So let me say this. Now, I know people don't want to hear this shit. And contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to think that Devin Haney had this medical issue. But imagine my surprise when I wake up in the middle of the night and I see that on the TV. Now, for those of you who don't know, all I do is watch YouTube. I don't really watch regular TV. I watch YouTube. And if you know anything about that, you put it, you could be watching whatever, and you can fall asleep on it, and it'll go from the next to the next to the next content creator or whatever. And that's what happened. I was asleep, and I woke up to them talking about Devin Haney having a heart attack. I ain't gonna keep you in suspense. That's what it said. Now, I have to say that everything we talk about today is allegedly. I'm not in the Devin Haney camp. I don't know them personally. So everything I say is allegedly, and you will hear me say it often throughout this broadcast. Our money is in the building, was Papa King. He said, Miss T, water check. Of course. Of course. ATL Unanimous Boxing Sport is in the building. He said, what's going on, Queen T? What you talking about? Talking about your boy, Devin Haney. Now, like I said, I don't know because I'm not a part of his team. But I'm reporting what I heard and what I saw on my YouTube. And it's real to me because when I woke up to use the bathroom and the TV is playing and I hear them talking about this, and I, man, hurry up and came back and was listening. I looked at it twice. Then I said, let me check to make sure if somebody else was reporting. And somebody else was reporting. And then after that, after I did a couple of things, I went back to sleep. And I said to myself, I ain't gonna say nothing until tomorrow, because by tomorrow, everybody gonna be reporting it because it's gonna be out there. Now, y'all know the one issue that I talked about a couple of shows ago was his rehydration up 25 pounds, which I don't understand. Because I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, and I'm going to say expert opinion, I'm retired Navy. As most of y'all know, I did 20 years in the Navy, and we had height weight twice a year and a PT test twice a year. And so we had to weigh in like boxers do, get our measurements if we over the weight limit, and then take a PT test, which was grueling. Okay? Some people might be like, the Navy PT test ain't nothing. But hey, if you don't want to do it or you have to do it all the time, it could be something. We had to run 1.5 miles and so many push-ups and sit-ups and sit and reach and height and weight. That was all part of the test. Twice a year. Much like Canelo fight. Twice a year. And he weighs in, right? So I know about weight, trying to make weight, and then turn around and do something arduous or physical afterwards. And then on top of that, for those of you who've been here for a long time, they know, y'all know, that I don't have a thyroid gland. Y'all know I've shared that with y'all. I lost mine, and not like I lost it out there in the world, but it was taken when I was 24 years old. I'm much older than that now. So I can tell you for a fact how weight, how you can struggle with weight, not having a thyroid gland. A lot of people think exercise is the main way to lose weight or whatever, or gain weight, or what, like when you want to put muscle on and stuff. But no, your metabolism does a lot more than you think. Y'all think it's the exercising, but it's not. You can exercise 18 hours a day. And if you don't have metabolism, you ain't gonna see much result at all, hardly any. I'll put it to you this way. I used to walk 10 miles a day, probably about 6 years ago. I used to walk 10 miles a day, faithfully, every day. Because again, I don't have a thyroid gland, so I don't have metabolism like y'all. So I would walk 10 miles a day. And one day, one of my friends wanted to walk with me because she was like, man, You look good, you getting in shape, and blah 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 blah. Now the whole I tested it because finally it's somebody who's intact that got all their organs, unlike me. I want to see if my little plan of how to exercise, works. So she walked with me. We would walk from like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, to probably about 11 o'clock, and we walked at our pace. It won't like a race. We won't try to rush. Sometimes I'll finish at 10:30, sometimes at 11 o'clock. But we will walk 10 miles, and we was walking on the high school. Okay, and I already know I can't eat everything because I have allergies bad. So my palate, I don't get to experience a lot of things on my palate like most people. I can't just eat anything. So I have the same basic stuff, and the stuff that I was eating wasn't fattening, just tradition. Like, the most I, would eat would be something like a hoagie, that's bad. Maybe some fried chicken, that's bad. But back then, like I said, that's just how I eat. I don't eat a lot of junk food and sweets and cakes and all. I don't do that. My friend, she wasn't a big heavy eater of sweets either, but she had a palate that she can eat anything without having an allergic reaction. My allergic reactions land me in the hospital. So I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't overeating, but I wasn't trying to undereat. It wasn't like we were dieting. We were drinking our water, and from June 1st, we clocked this shit to June 30th. We wanted to see how much you can lose walking 10 miles a day. Every day. If it was raining, we was walking in the rain because that's what real sailors do. Shout out to the U.S. Navy. So we was walking, and don't you know, by June 30th, that girl lost 40 pounds. Me, I lost 7. So what that tell you? One, it could tell you. I'm gonna tell you, I'm an expert at this. Because I know I experienced it. I'm not talking about what I read. I'm talking about what I know. She lost 40 fucking pounds just walking 10 miles a day. And 3 hours, it take about 3 hours to walk 10 miles at a slow, not a slow, but a regular normal pace. And if you're a person that walk fast, of course, you probably lose more. Boxing God 7 is in the building. What's Papa King? He said that isn't in the news. This is false. Don't know why people put false news out. Okay, Boxing God, I can't confirm or deny. I'm telling y'all what happened. Last night, there was people picking that shit up and it was dumping. And then today, it don't seem like people was picking it up. Al Money said, ATL, peace and love, bro. You already know what's up. Boxing Guy says, Bill Haney was live, never said anything of ABT Devin being hospitalized. He would know. That's his son. Bada results up on their site. Devin and Regis passed their test. Yo, you doing my show. I got you. I got you. He said, yeah, I seen Bill on live earlier. He didn't say anything like that, Queen. Okay. General Big Fish is in the building. What's popping? He said, what up, chat? What up, Boss T? Mr. Golden is in the building. What's popping, King? He said, Lady T, hello, Queen. He said, Big Fish. Y'all greeting each other and everything. Let me get to it. I'm going to start reading the chat for a minute. So what I'm going to do is show y'all what I saw. Y'all can be the judge of whatever you want to be the judge of. But Miss T is telling you what she saw. Okay. Now I'm going to play this. And you can be the judge. This is not my content, YouTube. This is for educational purposes only. So I'm only going to play a little bit. But y'all see. Let me see if it's in there. Let me make sure it's in there. And y'all tell me if y'all can't hear it. Let me know. Y'all see this, right? Now on my thumbnail, I say he looked huge before the fight. That boy don't look like no 147 sitting right there. But that's beside the point. Let me go ahead and hit play. And y'all tell me. Now that's all I'm gonna play. Did y'all hear that? Let me know in the chat. Did y'all hear that? Because you could go, y'all can go look up Boxing Zone. I don't know much about that channel. I'm just saying, did y'all hear that? Okay, because that's what I heard. And then I'm gonna play some on my phone this time, and I'm gonna tell you the second person that picked it up. I think this is the one. Hold on.
All right, y'all. So right now we got reports saying that Devin Haney has suffered a heart attack. That's right, y'all. The champion just won against Regis Pro Ray a few about a week ago. Has been down with a heart attack. This guy has suffered a heart attack. Devin Haney, and we definitely want to hear what has to be said about him using performance enhancing drugs. There's a lot of speculation and saying that the only way the guy is young could suffer a heart attack with the shape that he's in is probably going to lead to performance enhancing drugs. Let me know what y'all.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all, you can go to Boxing Zone and Real REELCRE, the number 8R. So Real Creator. That's where y'all can go to check that out and everything. You know, we all know that Tank. Let me get that off my screen. Tank has been clamoring and hollering that Devin Haney is a cheater because of SNAC. And it be sounding like I'm a advocate for SNAC, and I'm not. I don't care what happened to Victor Conte. Do I subscribe to that notion that once cheated, always cheated? Yes, y'all have heard me say that. However, I don't think that Victor Conte is that stupid to be in broad daylight in front of the whole boxing community world and officials, you know, and different commissions, and put out a product that's definitely is full of PEDs. I don't think that he would do that. I don't think that because he didn't serve like forever. If y'all go to the Netflix and watch that whole documentary with him, a lot of people to me sound like they didn't pay attention to that whole documentary because he been working with SNAC forever. SNAC is not something new, and that part of his business was legit. It's only later that he got into, and they break it down when he got into it and who he helped or whatever to cheat. Is only later that he started dealing or engaging in performance enhancement drugs, and that's what he got in trouble for. But he never bridged or connected that illegal part that he was doing with the SNAC part that he was doing. And you know, he was in partnership with a lot of people, so he kind of fucked up the bag and fucked up, you know, their business and all that. He's always going to have that smudge on his name. You know, he's always going to be known as Mud. But I don't totally agree with people saying SNAC is contaminated or got, you know, some PEDs in it, because I just, for the simple fact, I can't see him being, you know, all these people getting on SNAC and him, you know, and that being available to any and every boxer, and you know, just in broad daylight, so to speak. But what I will say, there's a lot of big boxers, your favorite boxers, maybe my favorite boxers, that be on SNAC. And if SNAC turn out to be contaminated, as they say, then that's the risk that those boxers took. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't believe that he would do that in broad daylight like that. So that's that right there. But Tank believes that. That's why Tank said, get SNAC out of here. But Tank always felt something suspicious about Devin. Now, I talked about in a couple of shows ago, Devin's weight gain, you know. And I said, there's no way humanly possible. And I said this last week before I just showed y'all. Oh, it said no sound. Oh, damn. It said no sound. I don't know why it wouldn't be sound. Hold on. Damn. Oh, that's messed up. Let me try to pull it up again. Uh, Let me see. Let me go back. It was clear through my speakers. See, damn. Still nothing. So what's going on is when I hit to come back to my screen, it's pausing. So did y'all hear that? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Yeah, Boost on SNAC. Yeah, he said that people stupid. They don't read. Queen. So Tay said he's not on steroids. He sounds like Tank fanboy. This is probably not real. I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna try this one more time. This time I'm not gonna hit back in till y'all just hear the front beginning. And then, like I said, if it don't work after that, then I'm telling y'all where to go. Boxing Zone. Y'all see it on the screen, right? Y'all see it on the screen. So I'm gonna go back here and I'm just gonna play it. Now I know y'all can hear me. So that's all I'm gonna play. Like that's all I'm gonna play. But y'all heard the beginning parts of it, right? This time, right? We heard them. Okay, it played the second time. Okay. All right. Yeah, what it is when I think things have changed on this on YouTube, but whatever the case. So look, I don't want this to be true. I know y'all think some of y'all probably think I don't like Devin Haney, but I actually like him. I just ain't buying all the hype. Now, Bill Haney has done interviews since the Regis and Devin fight. And do y'all remember the part when Bill Haney said, you know, Floyd, you paying dudes crumbs, my nigga. He said, you P. Diddy in a nigga. That was a low blow. And I was like, oh shit, what's going on between Floyd and the Haneys? Because that was a low blow. I don't care what you say. That was a low blow. To compare Floyd to P. Diddy, I don't know if y'all be watching the gossip YouTube channels when it concerning P. Diddy here lately. Oh my God. To compare Floyd to him, that was a kick in the, whatever. Because P. Diddy is he messed up. He did some horrible, horrific shit and been doing it. I always thought he was a weird ass anyway. A weird little roach. But anywho, Bill said that about Floyd. Now, if you listen to, if you go to Boxing Zone and you look at that clip, you're going to hear them talk about how Bill is disgusted with Floyd. Bill Haney, according to that clip, is blaming Floyd for getting his son, connected to that. And Floyd is like, no, Now I'm going to play y'all something else too of Floyd's answer back. And this one is on another, I can't, for some reason it won't show me on my TV who did this video. Like I said, it was a dump last night. Y'all was asleep, I was asleep, but there was a dump last night, and all of a sudden it's quiet as a church mouse. Listen to this.
Floyd Mayweather, the undisputed legend, was entangled in a clandestine phone call with none other than Bill Haney, the father and manager of rising star Devin Haney. Yeah, you heard it here first. Mayweather and Bill Haney are locked in a conversation that's causing shockwaves throughout the entire boxing universe. Here's the twist. Mayweather, being the shrewd operator that he is, decides to hit the record button on this conversation. And trust me, this isn't your average exchange. It's a revelation of seismic proportions. Bill Haney lays out an audacious proposal that's not just turning heads, it's making them spin. The audio recordings capture the essence of his plan, a plan that's soaked in shadowy dealings. I've got an offer you can't refuse. I want Devin to face Gervonta, but I need him to take a dive, echoes Bill's voice.
Y'all hear that? I got an offer you can't refuse. I want a fight with Gervonta, but I need him to take a dive. Now, this is a conversation that's supposed to be going on between Bill Haney and Floyd. This is one of them things that was dumped in the middle of the night, and it was hard to find. But thank God I had it paused on my TV because I tried to find it elsewhere. I couldn't, but I had it paused on my TV and it said Fight Today. I don't know these channels. I never look at them, but I was following the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? But let me continue. Through the recording, laying bare the depth of the behind-the-scenes maneuvering. We're talking big money here, Floyd, and you'll be taken care of. Trust me. How does Mayweather respond? Oh, it's a masterclass in composure. Bill, you're asking me to fix a fight? That's not how we do things in this business. Mayweather calmly retorts. His word. Now, I'm going to say this. It's called Fight Today. You can go look it up and you will see the same shit I see. Now, my biggest thing with Devin Haney for this particular fight is I was like, dude, you look big before the weigh-ins. That final press conference was like on a Wednesday. I was like, how is he going to get to 140? But I was like, well, he a professional. He know what he doing or whatever, But then when he rehydrated 25 pounds, I said, that's not humanly possible. That's just not how bodies work. I'm a person. I just told you I was in the Navy. We had to do height weight twice a year, and we had to do a PT test twice a year. I promise you, with no organ that produces metabolism, I couldn't get down to no weight, eat a meal or two, and balloon up 25 pounds. Not even me. Not being, because a woman, we have cycles. Cycles supposed to put 3 to 5 pounds on us. It could be a little bit more to one side or the other. I think mine was a little bit more than, it's TMI, but more than 5 pounds. But never 25. I could not sit down and eat a meal and rehydrate up to 25 pounds. And y'all know I do water check all the time. There's certain myths that that people be putting out, or we as a collective think about when we holding fluids and shit in our body. It's just not true. And we need to reprogram our brain. That's why I say water check. One of the biggest things, you don't ever hear me say it when I talk about water check in the beginning, at the top of my hour. One thing you never really hear me talk about is how much weight it's going to make you lose. You don't hear me talk about it. Because I'm going to say it goes without saying. Plus, if you do drink the water, you going to see yourself. Ask Al Money. He can tell you. If you drink the proper amount of water every day, what's one of the biggest things that's going to happen to you is you're going to drop weight. Point blank, period. So all this, I had to drop water weight. You can't drop that much. You going to have a heart attack for real. Because those are your electrolytes. When you start dropping a lot of fluids and shit, you're getting rid of your electrolytes, the minerals in your body. You're getting rid of potassium and magnesium. And I don't care how old you are. You drop that considerably and you will have a cardiac arrest. You can be 10 years old Let your potassium or magnesium drop. Why you think we give babies Pedialyte? You can lose a lot of electrolytes having diarrhea. Sorry to say it, like I ain't know no other way to say it. But that makes you lose it. When you get older, you start dropping that shit all the time. Hell, you can be taking medicine, and medicine can affect that and make you drop it. You have to be careful about the minerals. You can't be dropping minerals like talking about it and think ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You going down the pathway of a stroke and a heart attack when you do that. Ain't no such thing as getting rid of 25 pounds worth of water. That shit just don't happen. Mr. Golden said he always capping. Tay said Diddy is gay. Yeah, we found that out. Like I say, if look how big he was leading up to the fight Wednesday. He was huge. I was like, how this motherfucker gonna lose weight? But y'all didn't hear me reporting it. I didn't say that on here. I was like, Devin is a professional. He's young. He'll figure it out. I heard he had to take off his clothes to make the weight. Who cares how he made the weight? He made the weight. But you ain't gonna eat no meal or two in 12 hours or less and balloon up 25 pounds. Now, my best friend, who is a Devin fan, he said, what about Boo Boo Andre? Boo Boo came in about 200 pounds. It was to his disadvantage. That's probably why he was moving slow. He said, why y'all ain't looking at him? I hate when people say those type things because we looking at Devin. Bill Haney is the one who said, my son now is the pound for pound king. He should be number one. That was Bill. You know, they feel like they should be in the top 3 pound for pound. They also said that they was the face of boxing. They also said that this is their era. Why not Devin? When you see foul play, I don't care what anybody say. You cannot make weight at 140 and 12 hours or less balloon up to 25 pounds. Not humanly possible. And the operative word being humanly possible. It's not natural. It's not normal. And it's just not possible. There has to be some outside force. So even though this thing, you know, what I showed y'all to play for y'all is saying that he had a heart attack. I'm going to say allegedly he had a heart attack because I don't know. This thing even shows a picture of him in bed. I don't know how true any of this is. I thought that it was going to be picked up or whatever. But the Haneys wouldn't want you to know because you know what? His whole life going to change if that was the case. His whole life going to change. He ain't going to be the same. And if you get a cut in a fight in your face, you know you have to sit out a month before you can come back. If you get concussed, you have to sit out 2 months. Imagine how you got to sit out for a heart attack. So I'm just saying that I addressed this weight. I'm telling y'all what can't be. And I know this from 20 years of experience. I know for a fact you don't balloon up that fast and that much. I have taken height weight on a Friday and ate all weekend and came back Monday to take my test. And I didn't gain maybe 2 or 3 pounds, maybe, if that. And this is a person with no metabolism in her body. I don't even have the organ to make this shit. And that's what it did to me. So I'm supposed to believe that in 12 hours or less, this dude can put on 25 pounds because he ate or he drank the bottle of water or some shit. Nah, it don't work like that, y'all. It don't work like that. It's not humanly possible. There's 3 types of bodies in the world, if I may. And I'm going to try to describe them. And I'm not describing them in medical terms, but I'm just saying we all seen them. You got the skinny man who have a hard time gaining weight. Skinny woman, skinny man. You've seen them. You got them in your family. That person eats you out of house and home. They eat all day. Bread, everything, all the taboo shit. And they don't ever gain the weight. They might have to unbuckle unbutton their pants, and, and hit the bathroom up. But once they hit the bathroom up, they good. They back to normal with the flat belly. We call people like that, they have a high metabolism. Let's think of boxers that can be put in that category. You got Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s of the world. You got Cambosos. Cambosos will never be a big guy. He will always fight at 135. I doubt if he want to go backwards, but he damn sure can't go forwards. He'll always fight at 135. He's a little guy. Chris Colbert comes to mind. Little men. Chris Colbert showed, that was a nice knockout this weekend too. Lord have mercy. That motherfucker was like, boom. He went to sleep on the ropes. The ropes was his pillows. That shit was funny. But Chris Colbert comes to mind. A skinny man. A small guy. Then you got the middle-sized dudes who they can gain weight, but they can lose it too. And if they're young, they can play with that up and down and all that stuff while they're young. It'll get a little harder, but it ain't that hard. I call them just in the middle. And people that come to mind, Bruce Ennis, Shakur Stevens. These guys can gain weight. They can get big. You've seen them. But then they can drop weight too. You've seen that too. No problem. That's the middle-sized dudes. Then you got the big dudes, whereas weight is coming, and it's gonna come with age, and it's gonna be dependent on what you eat, and you have to exercise to stay small, and you naturally a bigger guy. Your bone density is bigger than most people. These are the type of people that you look at a cake and gain 2 pounds. Those people out there like that, they be like, man, I look at a cake and I put on 2 pounds. They can't even cheat just a little bit. They struggle with weight. Sometimes their whole fighting camp, getting ready for another fight, is predicated on them losing weight, or the whole time they training is mostly weight reduction type exercise instead of skill development and all that stuff. People that come to mind like that is Devin Haney. Another person that come to mind like that is Canelo. And I know y'all say T. It ain't like he the first person that ballooned up like that. Yeah. And everybody who ballooned up, that you be looking at them suspect. Canelo comes to mind. Canelo leading up to the fight at least looked like he was going to weigh 147 or he was on weight. But the next day he came in the ring, big as shit, a wide ass square body, big as hell. He was damn near 170 fighting Floyd, but that was to his advantage. His advantage, he thought, but it was to his disadvantage what it wound up being, because Floyd is a supreme boxer, and we know Canelo, one of his biggest flaws is he can't move his feet, and back then it was just as worse. He don't move his feet well. And if you can't move your feet and legs in boxing, you might as well pick another career, because that's half the battle right there. But Canelo is like that. He can gain weight easy, probably because he drink and shit. But when I addressed his weight a few shows ago, talking about Devin Haney, it wasn't that I was hating. I was speaking on what I know and have experienced myself. So I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, this shit was dumping, and it won't just this. It was other things dumping. Y'all hit the subscribe button, please. Please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already. If you already did, don't worry about it. Hit the like button too. Now, again, I'm not an advocate for SNAC. I don't like them. I don't dislike them. But I don't see how Victor Conte, considering his past, will be so bold that in broad daylight, get these fighters to get on SNAC. And I don't think the Boxing Commission would sit back, knowing his past, and not test his products or vet his products. And then look, Victor Conte has an answer, a remedy to anybody who has any doubt. You know what he say? If you fighting an opponent that use SNAC, I'll pay for your VADA testing. Straight up, I'll pay for your VADA testing or whatever. Whoever you want to test, I'll pay for it. So he taking the excuse. Because some people can be like, I'm not paying for that. I don't want. He was like, I'll pay for it. Hell, you don't think this other sanctioning bodies would jump on it? We know the WBC got the clean boxing program where they paying for the VADA and all that shit. But you don't think the WBC accountant or number of crunchers wouldn't be like, yeah, Victor got it. Victor said, I'll pay for it. That way you know. And Capson Cup Full G, I can't remember how his name is. If he listened to come through. When he made a lot of videos about pads and how people take them and how you beat the test and all. He did a lot. This was a while back, maybe earlier this year and even last year. He did a lot, and he said that by time after the fight, you have pretty much cycled off the drug. So whatever they testing, they're not going to catch nothing because the way people cycle off the drugs. You're cycling off it before the fight, like leading up to the fight. By the time after the fight, you have pretty much fully cycled off it. So when you get tested, you're not going to see nothing. That's what he said. And a lot of people said that's how it is. That's why they should test you right when camp starting, maybe even before the camp start, and during and throughout the camp, as well as after. That's how you catch people. Oh, a side note, update. Somebody asked me a while back, do I know anything about, what's her name? Alicia Baumgartner. I know, just like y'all know, she just did a couple of interviews with Nest. And shout out to the Boxing Voice. He did a good interview with her. And she said that it's a process. She just have to wait. Not only were they investigating her, but they was investigating the lab. She said, too, that she gave a hair sample. Now, y'all know Alicia Baumgartner. She ain't a bald-headed chick. But one thing about those type of drugs, once you take them, it's in your hair, and you cannot get rid of them. And it stay in there, seem like forever, for a long time. Like, it stays in your hair forever. You will have to cut. That's why people who try to cheat, they cut their hair bald, like completely bald. Can you imagine Alicia Baumgartner doing that? But then somebody said, wait a minute, T. You remember, we haven't seen hide or hair of her for a long time. Maybe she did go bald and now her hair grew back. But she looked like she got the same amount of hair as she had before. So she said that she gave a strand of her hair and it came back negative. So you got to take her at her word. That's the update. That's the only thing I know. But I probably found out just when y'all found out. But like talking about getting back to this whole thing, if Devin Haney had a heart attack, let me tell you how that's going to work. He's going to be excluded from a lot of things. Trust me, I know. And when you have a heart attack, you usually have scarring. And you can't hide that scarring. And that scarring is going to affect how your heart works anyway. So we have never heard that Bill Haney's family have a bad hearts, or we never heard that Devin had a bad heart. So for him to have a heart attack at 25 is puzzling. It begs more questions. And can you imagine getting insurance to fight? Because you know they got to have insurance. What insurance carrier is going to cover them when they already know this young boy had a heart attack? That's going to be a problem. Now, like I said, I'm repeating what I heard through YouTube content creators. And I tried to look it up. I did. I look, and I could not find but a couple of places. Like in the middle of the night when they was dumping it, it seemed like a lot of people was up there saying it. But then by the morning, it seemed like I guess all of that was taken down. Now some people, now I can't confirm or deny, and I'm gonna say all of this is allegedly. Please hit the like and share button, please. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. But if this is true and he had a heart attack, I don't think he's going to be boxing much longer. But all of that remains to be seen. But sometimes you can have a minor heart attack or whatever, and you can go on and box, but at your own risk. You are now placed in a category that you just will never get out of. You have to take that in consideration when you fly, when you do anything. If you've ever had a heart attack, you have to. Your heart wouldn't be 100% like it used to be. Now, Bill, from that clip that I played to y'all, and towards the end, you hear that he was fussing at Floyd, like he's blaming Floyd, and Tank is blaming SNAC. And everybody's like, I told you. But like I said, the only facts that we do know that I can say is that after the fight, him and Regis took a test and they was deemed clean. That's the fact that I can say. I cannot confirm or deny these allegations of him having a heart attack. I'm just saying, who in the world gonna put that shit out if it ain't real? And if he did, if I was building them, I would want to hide it too, because I would want to know how serious the situation is. Like, how does this affect us going forward? Now, the other question it begs is how and why. We know that you can be any age. You can be a baby and have a heart attack. All you got to do is lose your minerals. All you got to do is lose potassium and magnesium, the proper amount, and you can have a heart attack. Anybody can have a heart attack. But it's unheard of for children and people that young, 25 years old, to be having no heart attack. And if he did, maybe he lost a lot of his minerals. You can do that through all ages. Like I said, it could be some medication you on that offsets it. It could be that you dehydrate you. This is why I say drink water. Drink water has electrolytes in it. This is why I say that. You know, he could be not properly hydrating himself back. It could be a number of reasons why that could have happened. But if it happened, he is not the same. Who gonna fight him? People don't get in the ring to kill people. That dude could have a once you have a heart attack, you don't open that door. You have a massive heart attack on live TV. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to see that? And like I said, who's going to insure them? How is he going to pass a physical? These are all good questions. ATL said, I just can't believe that. You know I'm in these YouTube streets, y'all. I feel y'all. But, you know, Bill pointing the finger at Floyd. Tank pointing the finger at Devin. But everybody know what's done in the dark will come to light. They're gonna have to explain that. Even if somebody jumped the gun and was not telling the truth or whatever the case may be, this is why you got a PR person. They're gonna have to come and explain that shit. Because like I said, I just played y'all 2 clips. These are YouTube content creators. Why would they lie? That's my thing. And I think I saw there's one clip where Blue Blood talked about it a little bit. He didn't say, I'm reporting that this will happen. I guess he was talking about it. I was like, what? When they threw that clip in, I was like, oh shit. So I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all tell me what y'all think. You know, I could have made a post last night when I seen it. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna let it play out and let other people catch the scoop and see if this thing real. Because the way they was dumping in all kinds of stuff, because they absolutely dumping in Ellerby's back and forth with Haney. Haney hot fire mad. The shit that he's saying, y'all know he been taking jabs at Floyd. This we cannot act like we ain't see, because we seen him on an interview saying such. He called Floyd P. He said, "You P Diddy a motherfucker." I'm like, whoa. That's taking a serious jab. But if young Devin, if it, that's gonna be the main question is, if he had a heart attack, how and why? And we at his age, it ain't but a few ways that can happen. And if he was my age, I would be like, that's to be expected with us up here in this age group. But at 25, hell to the no. They got some explaining to do. So I dropped the link if y'all want to come through. And he gonna be excluded. If that's true, he gonna find it hard pressed to get licensed to box again. If it's true. All of the things I said on this podcast tonight is allegedly. I'm telling y'all again, it's what I saw through some content creator. I looked it up. I saw, some things throughout it was factual, like the tweets and the back and forth. Oh, and in that clip that I played just now is on Fight Today. They're going to talk about how Bill and Haney, when they said that Haney told Floyd, "Hey, let's get the fight with," I'm paraphrasing, "let's get this fight with Javante, and but he gonna have to take a dive." I was like, "Man, come on, man, that's going too far," because I can't see Bill saying that. However, that's what's being reported, and they saying that Floyd got the recording. I don't know how true this is, but I highly doubt people gonna put out, like, I can't even imagine a YouTube channel staying on for a considerable amount of time if they're gonna be putting out bold-faced, blatant ass lies. But we do know the Haneys and the Mayweathers are going back and forth at each other. So we do know that. If it come out that young Devin was drinking that tea, that ain't gonna be good. That ain't gonna be good. If I was Regis, I'd be mad as fuck. But all we can do is sit back and wait patiently. If it come out, we'll know. Because, like I said, he'll be hard pressed to get a license if that happened. And then, like I said, for a young person, how, and why? That's the questions that's got to be answered. On to some other news. So y'all know that we've been critical, giving constructive criticism to Clarissa Shields, the GOAT. We've given her some constructive criticism because we live in a patriarchal society, and I'm the last person that engage in some chauvinistic ideals or whatever and all that stuff. But some part of me, some of that shit is okay for me. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear, it's a turn off, no woman in boxing talk as if she's equal to a man. Can she be more skillful in her approach in boxing? Yes. Because skills is something you learn. Any of us can learn it. But that power is the equalizer. It's not even like if Keith Thurman hits one of you guys in the head when he used to be one time, and he'll hurt you, knock you out, whatever, but you'll get up, face still intact, whatever. He hit me in the head, my whole head probably blow up. And I'm not playing like damsel in distress or anything, but I'm just looking at reality. If you want to fight, we criticize her for the Keith Thurman backlash and all that, and I don't want to bring it back up, but now she's, in going viral for another dude. And at first, I thought she learned from this because she got a lot of backlash. A lot of people were very careful in how they spoke. I just spoke regular because I'm a woman. I can say this stuff. That's what I felt. But then I seen some YouTube content creators have the typical response that men give to women who seem like they stepping in their realm. You know what I'm saying? I used to play basketball, and I can tell you right now, I had to take the Joe Louis approach. If I beat this dude, I scald his ass, I couldn't celebrate. I couldn't be happy too much. I dare not let him see me smiling because men, ego, and pride is just team too much. You know what I'm saying? And then they be like, run it back. And then I said, okay, run it back. And I want to show them that I can beat you no matter how many times we play. And so we'll play, but then I get bowled in the chest, knock the wind out of my ass. I be like, that won't part of basketball. Well, you want to play with the men, don't you? I'm like, I ain't say I want to be a man. I'm just playing basketball. But I learned way back then when I was a teenager, you know, to tread lightly, if you will, in a man's domain. Because we live in a patriarchal society. If you didn't know it, you should have known after the Hillary Clinton and motherfucking Trump election. Men rather have Trump because they was not ready, and that's me saying it politely, for a woman to be president. Any other man running against Trump probably could have won, but Hillary, they won't have in that. So my criticism of Clarissa was like, read your audience. We Americans, this is where we at with it. We're a patriarchal society. We don't want to hear women toppling men in a vulgar sense. That's a turnoff to a lot of guys. And we need these guys to be turned on to women boxing. You're taking a step back. Keith Thurman was in a lose-lose situation. If he'd engaged in it and was already like, bitch, I'm going to teach you a lesson and blah, 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 the next time a dude called him out and he was humming, what you think they'd be calling him? A bitch at that point. He was losing. He couldn't win. He couldn't accept it. He couldn't engage in it. He just had to ignore her. I thought she understood because she fell back and she been quiet kind of lately. But now Alicia Baumgartner called her out. And I was like, okay, Clarissa, this is your lane. This is your lane now. Now you get it, get it funky with how you get down. Say what you got to say. Y'all are two females. Y'all are two professional boxers. Alicia made it clear that she didn't feel it was no harm and disrespect that she was given when she said, let's all of us fight. She wasn't being had no discontent for none of the fighters that she called out. But she know how Clarissa is. You can't really say much. Unless you praising her, you really can't say much because she can snap. And so then they kept asking Alicia about Clarissa getting knocked out. This clip that's been on YouTube of Clarissa getting knocked out. And you can tell Alicia did not want to really have to answer that question, but she did. And she was straight up. She was like, Clarissa got knocked out. And of course, in Clarissa faction, she blamed it on the gloves. She was like waiting, like embarrassed. To me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I believe people when they say, sometimes it happens. Get up and move on. You just sparring. But Clarissa had an embarrassment like y'all dudes be, he got the best of me. I don't get here and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you was fighting a dude. You left your chin open and he caught it. And he knocked you out. Now, I seen the interview with the coach or the person who run that gym. And he was treading very carefully. I think deep down inside, like my spidey sense can pick up the fact he don't like Clarissa. He don't hate her. He say he wish her well, but he's of the old school. what women are seen and not heard. You know what I mean? Get in the kitchen or something. But he ain't gonna say that he ain't that stupid to say nothing like that. But he does. He's turned off by her aggression and vulgarness. And so he was like, he feel like Clarissa has tarnished his reputation or is trying to tarnish his reputation, as he put it, take a flamethrower, a flame gun or something, blower or whatever, to his reputation. He don't like that. He feel like he been talking to lawyers and this, that, and the other. And the guy who released the video was the guy she was fighting. And his reasoning, because he told this coach, was he tired of her bringing it up. Now, we ain't traveling with Clarissa and we ain't in the same circles that she is in. I don't know how often she bring this story up, but it's one too many times. The guy said at his gym, nobody talks about it. He said he don't release no tapes, this, that, and the other. But this Russian guy who fought her and knocked her out, he said he just tied her mouth, pretty much. So he released that clip. Now, Clarissa said after he knocked her out and the sparring was over, she got up to go dap the guys. And when she went to go touch their hand, she noticed that the glove had less padding. And she was like, wait a minute. And she even said, I went to my car to get my knife, and I was coming back in. Coach Jackson had to keep me off. Or Coach David Jackson, I think that's his name, had to subdue her or whatever. So I'm like, damn, Clarissa. Because she was like, some heads gonna roll. Now, if it happened like that, like how she's saying, I can understand her being mad. But I don't think a man has to doctor no gloves to hurt no female. I think that goes without saying. He's a boxer. You a boxer. He can hit you hard enough to knock you out. You know, you can take a pillow-handed fighter, male-wise, and he catch her, he can knock her out. Whereas he probably don't knock most men out, but he can knock her out. It's the laws of nature, is what I'm getting at. So I don't know why she gets so upset, like she's embarrassed. It's not embarrassing. It's actually a good thing. You get in there and go them rounds with a dude, because a lot of women cannot do that. Mr. Golden said Devin just posted that it's fake news about him having a heart attack. So Devin put that shit out. Okay. Shit. I said I'm gonna put this shit out regardless, because it came through. And you know, well, if it's almost like when Earl Spence was faking like he was drunk and he said him and his girl had that skit. Why would you do that? Why? What was the point in doing that? Like, Mr. Golden, I'm looking at it like, why in the hell would he do some shit like that? Don't get mad if people believe that shit. Al Money said, well said, Miss T. But like I said, I thought Clarissa had getting back to her, I thought she had got past, you know, with the backlash being what it was. Because there's some dudes out there was just ignorant. Like, bitch, stay in a bitch place, you know. Like, I mean, they might not have said bitch, but you know what I mean. They was ignorant. And I'm talking about YouTube creators. And it was like, because dudes don't want to see that shit. That's a turnoff. You can have a guy that talk about Keith Thurman all the time, put him down, besmirch his character, say he ain't shit, he a bitch, whatever, all this stuff. And then you come in and join in, and then he gonna stand on the side of Keith and be like, nah, because men ain't gonna let women, don't no man want to hear that shit. And I ain't saying y'all the end all, the be all, but that go both ways too. Because you got some guys that'll fuss and go back and forth with women, and I be like, well, which one is the girl? The way he talking, it's the shit is unattractive. It's a turn off. Nobody wants to hear that. And then when you think about nature, I don't care how skillful you are. You cannot equal nature. You are stronger in the inside than you are on the outside, compared to men who are stronger on the outside, but not as strong in the inside. Like we are stronger in the inside. It's the way God made us. Don't rebel against it. You wasting your time. But she didn't get over that, because she still thinks she can do something. Rolly Romero got in her comments, and y'all saw the clip of her saying what she said to Rolly. I'll come to TNT and put hands on you, beat you, nigga, and beat your motherfucking ass. And that sound so silly to me. She said, with all your power. Okay, even if you think Rolly ain't skillful enough, I'm sure he gonna connect. And which y'all, a lot of people forget, Rolly, he's very good at some kind of jiu-jitsu or something. He was real good at it. He was doing that before he was boxing. That's why he kind of sloppy with boxing, because that's not what he started with. He started out as kind of like an MMA fighter and doing that jiu-jitsu shit. And I hear he pretty good. Mr. Golden said Devin didn't put it out. Someone else did. Well, we gonna find out if it's true or not. What we can say is, like I said, that they took the test after the fight, him and Regis, and they were deemed clean. We can say that Haney is throwing jabs at Floyd. I don't know why. So they got some kind of thing brewing between them two, because Haney said, he said, don't talk to me about Floyd no more. This is our era. I was like, oh, okay. And y'all know how Floyd is. You know that that's touching his pride. You know he is ego driven. You know how Floyd is. And for Bill Haney to talk like that about him, I don't know what the fuck happened. Then Leonard Ellerby was like, I'm not finna go back and forth with, like, I'm paraphrasing, insignificant people. Tank the A side, holler when you ready, or whatever. It's gonna be to what he want. So I'm like, Joseph Bailey is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, what's good, everybody? It's gonna be how he want. So I don't know what Bill Haney deal is with the Mayweathers, or is it just Floyd Jr., or is it with all the Mayweathers or the whole gym in general? I don't know what's going on, but something is a brewing, because Bill wouldn't be throwing these jabs. You know, like I said, you would call Floyd Diddy? Come on. That's crazy. That was a low blow, like I said. But back to Clarissa. So she been mouthing off at Rolly. I did hear her explain that situation with the boxing. She said that Monday they were sparring and she got the best of them. The coach said in his interview that the Russian guy who was boxing her, grabbed the something heel, Grant Hill, Gray Hill, or something type boxing gloves, and they supposed to be real protective, or it's an amateur protective type glove. So suffice to say, it probably got a lot more padding than anything else. And everybody who know boxing know that when you spar, you usually spar in 16-ounce gloves. Everybody, kids and all. They usually at least 16 ounce. I've seen them do it with 18 ounce as well. So when that Thursday came and they wanted to spar again, she said, because I beat him, I got the best of him, and blah blah blah, bragging about sparring. And then in the same breath say, well, in sparring we usually be just working on stuff. It ain't really a contest, you know what I'm saying? But in the same breath, she said, yeah, I beat him. I got the best of him. And then Thursday, she making it seem like, I guess he wanted to get some get back. So they removed some padding out the glove. According to the person who run that gym, or the coach, he said the man pulled 16-ounce gloves. So 16-ounce gloves would be less padding than amateur protective gloves that he had on the first time they sparred. But she took it as, that they was cheating, and, she made a big brouhaha at that moment. But the dude is not appreciating it. He feel like he want to take her to court for defamation and slander. The little bit coins you got, Clarissa, you don't need to be giving it to somebody in a witch god, because you got a hot head and, you like to fire off at the mouth and shit. Now, as far as her going back and forth with Alicia, they done started something. Y'all gotta hear Clarissa's response. Oh Lord, I can't look. I can't even critique it. You did what you had to do, champ. She said what she had to say. She said, "Bring her little ass up to 160, and I'll humble her. Basically, I'll sit her ass back down." But Alicia Baumgart, she said, "Oh, Clarissa said she's just doing it for clout." Now I know that's that new age word, but I get what she's saying, and in that part, I gotta agree. And I would say this about Clarissa's account of what happened in that sparring when she got knocked out. As she's telling it, you can see she believes it, and it's hard to say looking at her like you lying. But when you look at that coach when he did his interview, same thing. And Alicia Baumgart, you can't say she lying, but Alicia is coming out from a setback what she had to go through as far as popping or whatever, and she had to prove herself, and she's still waiting through the process, but she's coming, from a setback. So Alicia is trying to wash her name or launder her name with all these other good, clean fighters or high echelon fighters. It's like Alicia was sitting on the perch, and they knocked her ass off that perch, but with claiming that she popped on that test. And so she's saying that she gonna come out innocent in the end. But she said, "Won't we all fight?" And then she was just calling everybody out, and she called Clarissa. And then she didn't agree with they asked her about the accounts of Clarissa getting knocked out. She didn't agree with that. Uh, um, Clarissa said she fake, fuck her, all kinds of shit. Clarissa was being Clarissa. Now, see, I can laugh at that. You are two women. Alicia's like, let's get it on. Let's make this bad. And Clarissa like, you only calling me out because if you had a fight with somebody else, you wouldn't be at the, I guess the damn, what they call it, the cigarette arena. I don't know, the one in Detroit, Little Caesars or some shit like that. That's supposed to be the biggest arena, can house more people. But Clarissa saying that Alicia ain't on her level. If she was to go fight somebody in her weight class, she would never even get a chance to be at that arena because she don't sell like that. Like Clarissa said, I'm the GOAT. If it's all that, you come up to me. Why in the fuck would I go back to 147? I said she got a point. Why would she hold? She said, I'm holding belts up here at 160. If you all that come up here. Oh, I love it. I love it. And then they asked Alicia about would she fight 3 minutes? She said, they pay me more. They don't pay me for 3 minutes. They pay me for two. I was like, first when she said, I was kind of thrown off. But then I think about it. I was like, yeah, if they gonna fight 3 minutes and they ain't getting the money that these dudes getting, I wouldn't want to fight that neither. Shit. Alicia said she happy with two. She said she better skill. She just a better skill fighter than Clarissa. And if they were to fight, she see a knockout. But Alicia trying to come back. She is doing it. I can see clout. She's trying to come back. She's trying to line her name up with somebody who has a big name so she can get back on her perch. Because when the world find out that she did a hair sample and it came back negative, then she gonna feel good and be like, I told y'all. But her name is sullied. And some people will get the reprieve and be like, oh, okay, and keep it pushing. But some people gonna have in the back of their mind, nah, that bitch, they hooked her up. So all I'm saying, Clarissa, you in the right this time, going back and forth with Alicia. But I will say, Clarissa, you are a little bit more aggressive when you talking about dudes than you do uh, your counterparts. Clarissa was calm, cool, said what she had to say. She was her, but she be more animated when she talking about Rolly or she talk about Keith. And Clarissa, All I can say, you can't tell her what to do. I'm sure she's not gonna listen to me. Let that shit go. We are not men. We're not supposed to be. We are strong where we're supposed to be strong, and that's inside our bodies. I promise you, a man is not as strong as a woman in the inside, and they can't do what we do on no level in the inside. That's why we live longer than men, and it's one of the hardest things to do in the world is carry a baby. And I'm not saying women have to be mothers or you have to carry a baby just to get your woman card. No, but the fact that your body is built to withstand that and do that, you got all the tools, whether you use them or not. Men can't compete with that. But when it comes to brute strength, we can't compete with that. So we need to stop the nonsense. That's how I feel. Y'all let me know. Am I speaking crazy? Do y'all agree or what? That's just how I feel. I'm sure most of y'all will feel the same. Am I not seeing something or what? I don't like it. And I'm a woman. I don't like it when she called men out like that. It's not the same. I don't ever sit here and think, oh, Clarissa be that one girl to be beating niggas' ass. Never do I ever. I hope you never have to get in a fight with no dude where everybody can see that. That's what I hope. I think Broly could hurt you. I think you ain't scared. That's cool that you ain't scared. But you cannot, you're not as equal with them. Men ain't beating women who are stronger than us because they got skills. There's a lot of unskilled men out there when it comes to boxing to beat a bitch ass real quick. I'm not selling out women when I say that. I don't think a woman should be scared. I think she should be crafty. And I also think that there would be times that a woman could get the best of a dude. Uh, Bruce Lee talked about it. Wu Chung or whatever, that karate he knew. They said they devised it a little different for women specifically so that they can even the playing field. But hey, who in Bruce Lee shape? Who fighting like Bruce Lee? Certainly not me. Hey, breaking news. Navy Federal got a class action lawsuit against himself. I love Navy Federal. This was on CNN. They got a class action lawsuit about discrimination. And it come down to them giving loans to certain groups and not giving loans to others. Ooh. This is the time to clean up, y'all. When y'all see shit like this, that's when you jump on it. Navy Federals told me when I was getting my house, now I done bought several cars through them. They told me we don't give loans to new construction. My house was already built. Every house had to be built at one point in new construction. But my house was brand new, but it was one of the first ones built. So when I was going for it, it had already been built. The year before, just sitting here. And they said we don't give loans to new construction. But then throughout my lifetime in the Navy, I've known people to buy houses newly built, and that shit fucked me up. I was like, well, that's what they say. I ain't nothing I could do about it. So I had to go somewhere else to get my loan. But other than the bank that I ride with, now I can get a car all day long through Navy Fed, but I can't even get other types of loans, little signature loans and shit. But it's not that I can't get that from somewhere else, and I've had to. I got credit cards and all that, but I had to go somewhere else. So I don't know how true this lawsuit is, but I would say when an entity is in hot water like that, especially on some discrimination shit, that's when y'all jump on and get what you want. Cause they gonna be trying to uh quiet this down and squash that narrative. They don't want that to be true. Cause they got a lot of people of color who got bank accounts with Navy Fed. And if everybody got up and said, well, fuck it, you don't do nothing for me, and got up and left, wherever they be. But anywho, thought y'all might want to know that Navy Federal is a big bank now. I remember when it was just us Navy people. Hell, when I came in the Navy, you couldn't even get an account with them unless you was on the ship or overseas. So it was very small. And my friends used to get loans to buy radios. Remember when it was popular to have a big boom box or something? I remember my friends, we was new in the Navy, and they got loans to buy that. And I was like, they gave you a loan for that? But at that time, they had just gave me a loan for a car. So I was like, I was confused. I was like, because I went to try to get a loan for a radio. They was like, nope. I was like, but you told, so and so they could or whatever. I don't know. But the word on the street is when it comes to banks, if you want a loan or credit card or anything, call between the hours of 11 and midnight. If anybody take that advice and do it, and they wind up getting something that they didn't think they couldn't get, come back on here and share that with me. This lady that came through my feed on Facebook, I don't know her, but she was giving some tips and shit. And she said, this any bank. And but she always named Navy Fed as all this stuff you could do to get out of them and shit. But she was like, any bank. If you want a credit card, like a platinum credit card or a loan or a signature loan or a car loan or whatever, and you try before in the daytime when there's a underwriter who's deciding, like an actual person, call when they not, at work, when they close. Basically is what I'm getting is call between 11 and 12 and boom, you'll get it. And you know what? I put that shit to the test. Tell me why I ain't get my platinum. I'm telling you. I was like, what? That wasn't that long ago. That was a couple of months ago. I was like, what? Not through Navy Fed, because Navy Fed would be like, hell no. But I got a platinum through this other bank, another credit union. I called between 11 and 12. I had a little bank account I just started. Well, I ain't have much in it. Boom. Got me a platinum. I didn't even know I could do that. So, anyway, those are some little tidbits and all that. Also, another tidbit, I don't know if y'all pay attention, but like, let's say you got a bill that is yours. You never roger up to a bill that's yours when you're trying to get rid of the shit, right? On your credit report. So, first of all, don't dispute with the company. Always dispute with the credit bureaus, never with the company, because that's just a trick for them to somehow get in some kind of contractual agreement. Because you know how they be like, well, what's your name? What's your address? What's your phone number? What's your email? And you be like, look, I want to talk about this. And they want to get all that shit straight. That's how they rope you in to having the proof that y'all have some kind of contractual business together. Otherwise, when these people buy your debt, they don't. And that's how you get rid of them. But a quick way to get rid of some debt, if you want to do it. Let's say you lived at location A for 10 years, and then you moved to location B, and you've been living at location B for like a couple of years, and you ain't gonna move. Maybe you bought your new house, or maybe you whatever, but you got this thing on your credit report, but it's tied to the old address. Like any credit card I got right now is tied to this address that I live at right now. So when I sell my house and move, if I have any negative credit tied to this address, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call the credit bureaus and kindly ask them to remove this address off my credit report, and they will. You ain't got to beg them, plead, or nothing. They ain't going to ask you why, nothing. They just going to do it. I'm going to remove this address off because it ain't my house no more. I don't live there, and I don't plan on ever living here no more. So when I remove that address off my credit bureau report, then I remove all the negative credit that's associated with that address. Y'all heard it here. That's a trick of the trade too. And so if you had 7 or 8 bad things on your credit, but it was attached to a certain address and you don't live there no more, remove it. Now you don't have that bad credit. Because you have to have an address to have some kind of negative credit attached to your name. Can't just have it just to your name. It has to be attached to an address. But like I said, y'all heard it here. Those are some of the tricks of the trade to get to where y'all want to get to. And like I said, they're not gonna quiver with you. They're just gonna be like, okay, you just write them. Say, hey, can you remove this address? This is not my address. I don't. This is an alleged address. You know, you gotta talk to them like that. This is not my address. I do not live here. I live. This is my address where I live. Can you please remove that from my credit report? And they'll remove that, and along with that, gonna come all that debt. That's an easy way to get rid of debt. But anywho, that's all I have. Unless somebody has something else, I did put the link in there. Y'all could have rolled through, say your piece. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Everything that I said here in this broadcast was allegedly. I have to say that. But like I said, imagine my surprise when I wake up and hear that. And then all of a sudden, nobody's picking it up. But nobody's saying that these people are wrong. So I don't know. The Haney's got it. I will be looking out for Bill Haney when he go on these other shows, or trying to find out did he say it? Did they address it or whatever? They still haven't addressed this shit right here. I'm still waiting on the explanation. Let me take this comment down from Joseph Bailey. I'm still waiting on an explanation for this shit right here. What he say? This is what Devin retweeted. They say you got to be in, capital I-N, to make it to a Diddy swimming pool. What? Then fast forward, Bill Haney said Floyd be P. Diddy and a nigga. I'm like, oh my God, that's so bad, so bad. Y'all know Floyd was an open book. He had a harem. They all knew each other. They drank tea with each other. They toast with each other. They knew about each one. Remember when Miss Jackson was there? She was the queen bee, and all the other girls were around. Nobody fought. Everybody got Birkin bags. I ain't saying it was totally happy, but they was cool with the arrangement. Floyd won't beating people across the head and taking them in his cave. He damn sure, I highly doubt, was playing on the same team. Now I don't highly doubt that was Floyd. But I mean, Haney told him. Haney said, "You P Diddy motherfuckers." I was like, "Damn, Bill." Sometimes Bill get beside himself. But anywho, that's all I have. And so, in the words of Pamela James, hey, look, don't forget, y'all. Hold on before I do this. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you ain't hit the subscribe button before, hit that motherfucker. But in the words of Pamela James, peace.